meant really. It's a good day to have a good day. It's a good day to have a good day.
Welcome to the work face. Right, this is actually something that you're gonna love because this is a bit more serious than the regular one, and I've got a recipe for you for a curry. What on earth is this curry? Well, this is a Steve Dog, not a concoction, but a Steve Dog's own recipe for honey chicken curry. Right, what do we need? Let's look at the ingredients. First of all, folks, for any curry dish that includes chicken, you need chicken. Next up, you need honey. So you need honey and chicken. You knew that, there was a clue in that. You're going to need 1 chilli. This will serve 3 people. You need coconut milk. You need ground coriander. You need curry powder. You need turmeric. You need some lentils. Over here, you're going to need a couple of onions, a couple cloves of garlic. You're going to need a little bit of thickener, just something, not very much of that stuff, because when you chuck all this bad boy in, else it becomes a little bit too runny. So you might need a little bit of that. You're going to need some salt and pepper. So let's get down onto the work face, down that way somewhere, and start prepping the stuff. You're going to need some onions. Now, do you know, I've always fought with onions like bike chains. I've always had a scrap with an onion, thinking what's the best way to peel them. And to be honest, you know, I know people say cut them and leave the sort of knotty bit on the end, and other people say I don't know, do all sorts. I don't know. I always find the best way is to cut them. Just cut them in half or cut them in quarters, whatever you want to do. Cut them in quarters and just peel them. And all you want to do, folks, is peel the onion the quickest way you can.
So this watch me peel, so I'm going to speed this up, because you don't have to see me trying to peel and cut an onion, but that is exactly what I'm going to do, so don't go anywhere.
Right, onion peeled, garlic now. So I've got 2 onions, decent size, garlic. So easy to peel these bad men. Just crush them a bit and most of the skin will just come off in a wanna. So, right, pan go in here. Glug of oil, not too much. And then I'm going to chop up the onions. You haven't got to be particularly accurate with this. Just cut them up as you feel you need. Make them a bit rustic if you want. Although I will admit, I like to have a few big bits and a few little bits going in there. So get that onion and chuck that in the pan. Got that on it's on hot at the minute, it's on 9 actually, but I'll turn that down a sec, just get the heat, get the oil going. Turn that bad man down. So onion in, bit of a stir up, bring it around a bit, you can see me then. Bit of a stir up there. Right. Next up, garlic. If you're going to wash your hands after using garlic and onion, do it in cold water. And your fingers won't smell of garlic. One of those next. We'll cut the end off. Cut it in half. Got something like that. Take most of those innards out, not all of them, but most of them. Don't want to, if there's a few seeds in there, it doesn't matter. You want to carry a bit of heat. But take most of them out, and then These are going to provide a bit of heat and depth to the flavour of the curry. But this isn't a hot curry. I love a hot curry. This ain't a hot curry. And I'll explain why in a minute. Because, well, I'll explain in a minute. So, in goes the garlic. Give that a bit of a mix. So, garlic, onion, bit of oil, and a chilli, all going away. Next up, chicken. 2 chicken breasts. And do you know what I do with the old chicken breasts? Basically, have a look on it. Anything, any bits on there you think I don't know eat, just cut it off. Not difficult, is it? There's a bit there I don't look off, cut that off. Bit there I don't look off. Cut that bit off. Bit there I don't look off. Cut that bit off. Right, so the rest of it is looking pretty good. So just chunk it up basically. Right. Give it a stir. So far so good. Right, now we need spices. So this is going to be a curry. Hot curries, I know, go well with things that are sweet. So first of all, let's put some curry powder in. Medium curry powder, 1 teaspoon. Something like that. Next up, ground coriander. This will give it a fragrance and a sweetness. About the same again. So there, I'm just using the handle to get in there. So that's ground coriander, a little bit more. That'll give it a sort of sweetness and a kind of fragrance almost. Next up, turmeric. About the same amount of turmeric. That's your 3 spices in there. Mix it in. And you cook those spices, you start to smell it now. It's going to start smelling like a curry. So you only need 3 spices, folks. It's not a lot. Right. So that chicken, separate that bit there, it's a bit big. That chicken is starting to cook off now, which is nice. Right. Next up, while that's cooking, open up this one. Don't need it for a minute, but open it up. Right. It is just straightforward coconut milk. This is actually a light version. If you can get this, less calories and it tastes perfect. So that's coconut milk there. That's going to go in a minute. Right. Next up is, as that's cooking over, if any of you guys have had a vindaloo before, what's the one thing that cools it down? Peshwari naan. It's the sugars in the curry that give your taste buds some respite. So, a bit of honey, that's going to go into this next. It's going to give that sweetness that counteracts the heat of the curry. Okay? Remember, this is a mild curry for the whole family. So, get some of that. And you could use just squirt that around. Job's a good one. Make sure you get that chicken all cooking. What's it look like? That's the curry, isn't it? Right, next up. This goes in. In fact, let's put a bit of salt and pepper in first. A bit of salt, a bit of pepper. I don't normally like to cook with too much salt, but there's nothing salty going in. There's no red meats, there's no soy sauce, nothing like that. So a little bit of salt in there as well. Bit of a stir again. And when you think the chicken is cooked, bear in mind it's still going to simmer for a while. When you think it's, you know, looking pretty good, then you have this bad man. So next up, this one's going in. To be fair, it's just a tinfoil, you just drop straight in there. And all of a sudden, it goes quiet. So far so good, right. So next up, when I was making this first one, I thought, wow, this is a bit too thick. Because have a look at it. When you got that, coconut milk in, it's very runny, almost a bit too runny to be a regular curry. So, brain box, lentils. So next up, get some lentils. These are orange ones, or are these red split lentils. So just get some of those bad men and just pour in something like that. How much? I don't know. It's probably about maybe a couple of tablespoons, something like that. And then finally, and just stir those in. And then finally, and a lot of you will probably sort of tut at this, but to be fair, I haven't got chicken stock laying around. I want to thicken it up a bit in a chickeny kind of way. So all I do is just literally a few of those, and it ain't very many. It's just literally sprinkling, just something like that, and that's it. So hardly any of that at all. It's enough just to help thicken it. And that is it. So I'm just going to let that now simmer. So it's on 6 at the minute. I'm going to drop that down in a minute and let it simmer. And to be honest, you can let it simmer for as long as you want. And it will thicken up a little bit as it goes. As those lentils absorb all that stuff, it'll thicken. So there you go. Let's have a look a bit later. See how this bad man's looking. Right, first let's just go through those ingredients again. 2 onions, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 chilli about that size, 2 chicken breasts, 1 heaped teaspoon curry powder, 1 heaped teaspoon of crushed coriander, 1 heaped teaspoon or thereabouts of R.O. Pal turmeric. Okay. Next up, a good squirt of some honey. Then in go the lentils. We've got the coconut milk, which is light coconut milk in this instance, and then we got a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, and then if you want a little bit of that. It's cheating. This is meant to be an easy curry. We don't want to spend forever in here. This hasn't taken very long. As you can see, it's simmering now. So there you can see it's bubbling away. Really nice now. Looks like it's decent curry. Better just turn that down now. So let's just turn it down to 3. 1, 2, 3. And I probably won't even, I'll probably just leave the lid off that. I might put the lid on, whatever. Actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? Those lentils are going to absorb more of that liquor. That is going to be a really good curry. Right, it's turned down to 2. How did I get this recipe? I'll tell you what, I looked for a chicken recipe. I didn't want tomatoes. I suffer from gout. Can't eat red meat, can't eat fish, can't eat tomatoes, can't eat mushrooms. So, this here is chicken. There's no tomatoes in it. There's no meat in it. It's straightforward. It's easy to cook. It tastes really good. If you want it hot, have some lime pickle on the side or something like that. But this is a mild curry for the entire family. How long am I going to let that simmer? I'm giving that about 10 to 15 minutes. Doesn't matter, you can go on longer if you want. And then rice goes on, other stuff goes on, and it'll all end up about the same time. Right, so what we're serving this with, rice and some naan breads. Naan, whatever you want to call them. Homemade. My son made those with some natural yogurt and flour and a bit of skill as well. So there you go, folks. Onion bhajis, homemade naans, bit of dubri and a bit of lime pickle, and there's the curry, folks. Absolutely plum. So if you want a takeaway during lockdown, you don't need to. Make Steve Dogs curry. Steve Dogs honey chicken curry. It's easy. Catch you guys on the curry cooking, don't stop looking flip side.